Hello, this is my maze game that I have to do for medialogy hand-in. The structures uh, here I just call the name, the structure enemies, and then what data type they are, and then the string that I might be using. Well, I am using this, and here another enemy, only this time without the string. And here we have the frame rate, which is just to update the map faster, kind of, the maze. This line is for it's a boolean, which is used for all maze. When it's true, then it's working, and if it's false, then it's not. But of course, it's basically always true. Then there is this void sleep function, which lets compiler know about the function before it is implemented, and yeah, that helps. Kind of doesn't update the map, the maze. Doesn't write the maze every time; it just updates it. That's why it's kind of here. Then there is the integer, main integer. Here we call the player position for the start. Okay, so here is the other enemy position at 14 and 16 on Y and X axis. Then I have characters for all the different enemies and players. And I have a hit thing actually, which is a maximum of 34. Then an answer, which is used later. Then the life points for enemy and player, that's maximum. And then a constant enemy hit, which is always 16. And here we start calling from the structure and naming it to NMI 2 and 3. And then here's a random spawn thing with this function. And then afterwards we have this to make it work. If it was, yeah, this just says from 0 to 1. Make those numbers to 21, to 22 or 21, I think. And then here is the same for x-axis. Here's also the second enemy position spawn. Here you can see it. It's here. It spawns here. And then this is the whole maze. The maze size is 22 and 22. And yeah, that's pretty much. Okay, here we only call. Yeah, here we call we place the item, the characters we have on the maze. If maze is with that position of player, then it should run this. If then maze with game over position, should place that character from both these. That's the same for all the enemies and stuff. Then we have 2D for loop placement of maze. And yeah, this is where we actually print the maze before we just call it. Here we have first fight scene, which is at this position. If a player is at this position, then this whole thing starts, where it just shows life points and that you can fight. Then it goes for the switch case for shooting, like this. If you go there, then it's just gonna press E. Oh, I can't go from here. Yeah, press E to start shooting, then you press E and shoot 34. That's how it goes. And then there's lose game. If you die. Okay, I was trying to figure out what was happening. Why after you kill this enemy, why does it? Yeah, I actually died. Yeah, so that's how you lose if you die. But I was trying to see why it showed the third enemy stuff thing when it actually shouldn't be. Okay, let's go back. Here, after this, you lose the game. Here is yeah, it removes the enemy, as in makes it a space so that the player can move, which will show in the case switch. Then there is another one, if sentence, if he moves to the other square, 17, which is over here, I think, or here, it's here, then it respawns the life points for the enemy, so you cannot go back through it, and it also doesn't write the same thing that you have to hit him, so it saves time. And then there is the second enemy movement, which is just a call if sentence if the enemy is -1 on x-axis. If it says if there is this sign to -1 on x-axis, and this should run this function. Well, not a function, but it should go for this sentence. And but of course I had to do some mutation because it just could this was always true basically. So put this to 16, the y-axis of the enemy. Here you can see that this is the 16 on y-axis. Then you can see how he's walking around, or you could just stand here and you can see that he is walking around in that circle, and that's how it works here. Then it's if it's in y-axis -1, and then it's less than 2. It should be less than 2. Then it should go for right direction, and this is the right direction here, which says to go for the enemy to go x +1, and the previous one to make it blank, like here in a space. And yeah, that's how all of this works. These numbers are from the maze, not way, from the maze, which are just like these squares. Like this spot is 1 1. This is 19. Well, it should be 20, but yeah. This is 19 on 1. This is 19 on 2, and further one. So after I don't have any restriction for the left one because it already goes in the circle when it starts from here, and it goes there, and then it goes back here, and then there's just this one, and then the same this one works without any restrictions, so it just goes there, back, then it runs for the first one, which was from there, then it goes there. I'm kind of talking too fast. Okay. And there is another maze if sentence for the player for this enemy, which just says if my player's position is equal to enemy's position, then it should hit the player for the enemy hit, then show how much you got hit, and then show what your remaining life points are. And then here's the third enemy stuff, which is just I'm saying if player's position is at the spot that this enemy is not. Well, basically, if how this works is, here's my player here, and if this one is here, then I have this whole square around him, -1, -1, -1, and +1 to here. No, it's -1 here, +1. Then it should go to the next lines for the if sentence. So if for example it's the and then it just goes for the quiz, which is you have to put an answer, but it's always correct actually. It doesn't really do anything, it just removes the enemy afterwards here, so you could walk through him and then you get hit anyways after you answer the quiz, but you only had hit 16. If I show you, it's gonna be like the enemy is over there. Boom, you have to answer this. It's 24, 48 and 16. You got hit, but you can move along. You move along then to the other enemy maybe, as long as you have to finish. Then go to the winning game if sentence, which is just says if player's position is at this spot, 1919 here, then it makes this F letter space, and then you can move through it too, but you basically just win at that point. There's nothing to do there. So if I go, well, here if you walk through this to win the game, because yeah, that thing doesn't work. I don't know why it works also for this one. It should only be working for the random number here. You will draw one, you can walk here and here, but yeah, and then there's nothing else to do. Then you press Q and it exits. Then there is the key switches for movement through the catch, which I already said. It just gets the keys pressed and locates them. Well, gets them. Here's if the maze position is -1 on y-axis, then and it's not equal to hashtag and equal to space, then it moves down. It moves down one spot, and the previous square will just be space. The same goes for others. It's just this one for +1, so it's for going down, this one for going up, this one for going to the left or right maybe. Now it's for going right and this one for going left. Then there is case A is where is you for shooting. So if it's pressed on if the player is on that spot, you get hit. I think I was talking about this one. And there is case Q, which just exits. So if you press Q anytime, then you will exit the game. Then there is the frame rate for updating the maze. And then there's after the return, after the main and returns, after main integer, you put this return. And then you have this void sleep, which was already before in here for the compiler, which just basically just updates the which just updates the maze instead of writing it over and over again, so it can and it sees before even compiling the whole maze. That's literally how it works. Then there's the sleep rate. I think there's for most of the computers 60 megahertz, or I think it's hertz, but yeah, we put 30 for milliseconds, 1000 divided by 30 milliseconds, which is less than 60, because if it would go over, then it would just start going other way, I think. I don't know. And yeah, that's the whole maze game, and thank you for watching.